Hi everyone, welcome to the second episode of my character biographies series. This time we're looking at Hertok, the Ferasan I created for the Delta Recruit KDF side. So, back when I created him, he was to be my only KDF character, until of course Koch came around, but we'll talk about him in another video. And yeah, so as my only KDF character back then, I was thinking, let's use a Ferasan, the C-Store exclusive species for KDF. And also, the Ferasan escort didn't exist back then, so I gave him the core bird of prey, which, well, the bird of prey is an exclusive ship type for KDF. But all that aside, let's jump in and go further into his biography. Okay, so before I go into the biography, I'm going to talk about his uniform, his appearance, a little bit about Ferasan lore, and all that jazz. So, he's in the Border Skew long coat, which is exclusive to lifetime subscription, as well as the fur shoulder pads and cape. So, unlike Orions, Nausicaans, and Gorn, Ferasans don't have their species exclusive uniforms, because they were conquered by the Klingon Empire, unlike the other species which either worked for them as mercenaries or were partners, so to speak. So yeah, as for the tail, I gave him a tufted tail because it looks awesome and ferocious, I suppose. Feral, that's the word I'm looking for. And some warrior-like features, so tied up beard, tied up hair, earrings, nose ring, and warrior face paint. Okay, so let's go a little bit about Ferasan lore. So Ferasans were Capians 800 years ago, before they were genetically engineered, and the genetic engineering gave them fangs, talons, or I suppose these are called saber teeth, as well as darker fur color, and some became telepathic. And naturally they were superior to Caitians, so the Caitians were kicked off world to look for their own planet. And the Ferasans relished showing their superiority through combat, which means they really like to fight. And Ferasan society is dominated by clans of interrelated family groups who band together for defense and conquest. And loyalty is highly prized among Ferasans, but of course, as with any society, betrayals are common. And the greatest honor a Ferasan can give to another is to remain faithful through adversity. So that means showing conflict and hostility to show them respect, because, well, these guys really like conflict, and I get that really allows them to fit into KDF society relatively well. So Ferasans are actually a race that a species that only appears in Star Trek Online. They are based on the Kasinthi from the animated series and also mentioned in Star Trek Picard. But back then, when these guys came about, or Cryptic decided to use Ferasan for legal reasons. But actually, they are not an exact copy of Kasinthi, because Ferasan females are fully sentient, unlike Kasinthi females. Alright, let's get into this guy's bio. So, Hertok was born on Ferasan Prime and is a member of Clan Utai. So why Clan Utai? Well, of all the clans that were created in Star Trek Online, I thought Utai was a coolest name, so there's that. As a child, he would often get into fights with other young clanmates, as was tradition. Faith through adversity, right? He wasn't the best fighter, nor the worst, being slightly above average among his mates, but they all respected and were loyal to each other. As a teenager, he and his clanmates found themselves on the front lines of inter-clan wars on Ferasan Prime. Overall, Clan Utai had more victories than losses. Now, I made all those up. All the victories, losses, and inter-clan wars are all... I made them all up. But, based on the lore, I suppose maybe there were wars between Ferasans and their clans, but whatever. When the Ferasans were conquered by the Klingon Empire, yet still allowed to join the Klingon Defense Force, Prokok did not hesitate to enlist. He climbed the ranks and proved himself in combat, as he had growing up, and is always up for a fight. His bright, fanged smile never fades. So I mentioned that his ship is not exactly KDF-ish. Well, I mean, it is definitely a KDF ship. I made it slightly less Klingon. It's core bird of prey, but painted all black and slightly different upper wing. As for traits, they deal more damage with melee attacks, they jump higher, stealth, exploit damage, and perception. And in the lore it says they're telepathic. Well, that's an option, as only some Ferasans are telepathic. Still, I decided not to have it, as the other traits I find are slightly better for combat. And also I included Pounce, because this is a super fun trait. You literally lunge at your opponent with all claws ready for grabbing and tearing. And yeah. So to take advantage of the melee damage bonus, I'm using Sunkotse gloves, which are basically the best non-reputation melee weapons available. That makes you look like you're unarmed. And also in combat his ears get pointy like a cat, which is just fun. Alright, and also dual sniper rifles exclusive to KDF from the KDF Fleet Starbase. So that's pretty much it for this character and his bio. I hope you found him enjoyable and interesting. Please subscribe and ring the notification bell to be notified as soon as I post my next video, and to help out this channel. See you guys next time. Bye!